It started out as just a sunny Saturday morning. My 10-year-old son, Jake, was out front with his tiny wooden lemonade stand, all proud and grinning like he'd just invented business itself. I helped him mix the juice, cut some lemons, and made a little hand-painted sign that said, "Fresh lemonade, $1." Simple, innocent fun, right? Not in our neighborhood. Because right on cue, Storm Cloud, Karen herself, came marching down the street like she owned the asphalt. She had her tablet in hand, clipboard under her arm, and that permanent frown that could curdle milk. She stopped right in front of Jake's table, squinting like she was inspecting a crime scene. "This," she said, waving dramatically at the stand, "isn't authorized by the HOA. You can't just sell things out here. It reduces property values and creates unwanted foot traffic. Welcome to Prodigy Tales. Make sure you like and subscribe for your top-notch HOA drama." I blinked at her. Property values? Over a kid selling lemonade? She then started snapping photos of Jake's stand like she was collecting evidence for a federal investigation. Jake looked up at me, confused and embarrassed. I tried reasoning with her, told her it was just a summer hobby, but Karen wasn't having it. "Rules are rules," she barked. "You want to sell drinks? Go get a business permit from the city." Like my son was running a franchise. So, to keep the peace, I took down the stand. Jake sulked all day, asking why grown-ups hated lemonade. And for a brief, stupid moment, I actually thought that would be the end of it. But deep down, I should have known better. HOA Karens don't rest until everyone's miserable. As she strutted away that morning, I caught her smirking. That wasn't victory. That was a promise. One I'd soon regret underestimating. Before we dive in deeply, let us know in the comments what country or which city you're watching this story from. We'd love to know how far this story travels. A week later, I was mowing the lawn when I noticed something that made my jaw drop harder than a brick on glass. There, right at the corner of the cul-de-sac, was a bright pink lemonade stand, complete with glitter signs, balloons, and a cute banner that read "Fresh Lemonade by Lily." Lily, as in Karen's daughter. The same Karen who practically called the HOA police on my kid for doing the exact same thing. And this wasn't a low-key setup either. She had a card reader, a cooler, and even an umbrella stand for shade. I froze mid-mow, staring like I was witnessing a parallel universe where hypocrisy was an Olympic sport. I walked over, half calm, half boiling. "Hey, Karen," I started, voice steady but tight. "So the rules don't apply to your kid now?" She turned, straw hat perched on her head, sipping from one of Lily's lemonades like she was the queen of suburbia. "I'm the HOA president," she said flatly, "and sometimes exceptions can be made. We can't have everyone selling stuff. It's about community standards." I could practically feel my blood pressure filing a complaint of its own. "Community standards?" I repeated, almost laughing. "You mean double standards." She gave me that condescending smile, the kind that could peel paint. "You're new to this neighborhood," she said, "so I'll forgive your tone. I suggest you focus on keeping your lawn trimmed instead of worrying about HOA matters you don't understand." Then she turned back to her daughter like I was invisible. Oh, I understood plenty. I understood that Karen was a tyrant who thought her title made her untouchable. I walked home, clenching my fists, promising myself I wouldn't stoop to her level. But as I watched cars line up to buy her daughter's lemonade, the same thing my son was punished for, I felt that quiet anger start to boil. Jake noticed too. He stared out the window, eyes watery, asking, "Dad, why does she get to sell lemonade?" I didn't have an answer. Not yet. But something told me that lemonade season wasn't over, not by a long shot. By the third weekend, I was done playing by Karen's royal decree. If her daughter could sell lemonade, then so could Jake. So we rebuilt his stand, this time bigger, brighter, and right across the street from Lily's sparkly setup. Jake beamed as I helped him pour the first batch. "You sure about this, Dad?" he asked, eyes shining. I smiled. "If Karen wants to play president, let's remind her this isn't a dictatorship." The morning sun glistened off the lemonade jars like victory itself. For about 20 glorious minutes, everything was peaceful, until the beast returned. Karen stormed out of her house in her pink robe, hair in rollers like a suburban Godzilla. She spotted Jake, and her face twisted into that familiar look, pure, self-righteous fury. "What did I say about this stand?" she shrieked, stomping toward him. I was on my porch, phone in hand, ready for the usual HOA drama. But what she did next, no one could have predicted. Without warning, she grabbed one of the jars, slammed it to the ground, and then, in a flash of rage that made my stomach turn, she picked up a small garden stone from the curb and hurled it at Jake's direction. It struck the side of his head. The sound was sickening. My boy dropped instantly, lemonade spilling everywhere, yellow mixing with red on the concrete. I froze for a split second, then bolted. "Jake!" I yelled, kneeling beside him as blood trickled down his forehead. My hands shook as I called 911. Karen just stood there, panting, eyes wide, realizing too late what she'd done. I didn't mean, she stammered, stepping back. Neighbors rushed out with phones filming, gasping, shouting. One yelled, "She hit that kid." Another yelled, "Get her away from him." Karen's daughter started crying, running toward her mom, who suddenly looked less like a president and more like a criminal caught in 4K. As the sirens grew louder in the distance, Karen backed away slowly, muttering something about self-defense. But even she knew this wasn't a rule dispute anymore. This was about to become national news. The aftermath hit like a storm. Karen's little outburst turned our quiet HOA neighborhood into a full-blown crime scene. Police cars, an ambulance, flashing lights, the whole block flooded with chaos. Jake was rushed to the hospital, thankfully alive but with stitches and a concussion. Karen tried her best to play innocent, sobbing dramatically for the cameras, telling officers she just wanted to protect the community. But her crocodile tears couldn't wash away the dozen phones that caught everything on video, from the moment she picked up the stone to Jake hitting the ground. By morning, every local news station had her face plastered under headlines like HOA president attacks child over lemonade stand. The footage went viral faster than wildfire. People online dubbed her Lemonade Lunatic Karen. Her employer, a high-end real estate agency, fired her immediately, calling her behavior incompatible with human decency. The HOA board held an emergency meeting and voted unanimously to remove her. Then came the real hammer. The police charged her with aggravated assault on a minor, child endangerment, and malicious destruction of property. She spent the night in jail, and when she showed up to court in handcuffs, she looked like a deflated balloon. All that smugness, gone. Jake's doctor said he'd make a full recovery, but I wasn't done. I filed a civil lawsuit so brutal, even her lawyer looked ready to faint. Between the criminal case, legal fees, and hospital bills, Karen's savings vanished faster than her reputation. Her HOA friends ghosted her. Her husband packed up and left town with their daughter, who refused to speak to her again. And when the judge finally ordered her to pay over $250,000 in damages and attend anger management, she broke down in open court, crying that it was just lemonade. Months later, her house went up for auction. I bought her old yard sign, HOA President Karen, keeping our community perfect, framed it and hung it right above Jake's rebuilt lemonade stand. Every weekend, he sells out. People drive from other towns just to buy from him. And every time they ask what inspired him, he grins and says, "An HOA president taught me never to give up." The end. Please like and subscribe for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserves? Comment below.